Hello, I am Lisa Peter, and I am reading to you a story I wrote quite a few years ago called The Christian Christmas Tree. Long ago, in a deep dark forest, lived two little children. Their names were Billy and Marie. They, unlike many of you, did not have a mother or a father to look after them. When Billy was only 13 years old and Marie was 10, their parents were killed while riding horseback during a storm. Billy knew how to look after cattle and work for Mr. Jones, the only farmer in the neighborhood. Marie cooked and sewed for the farmer's wife. Mr. Jones had a little kitty that he gave to Marie for milking the cows one afternoon. Marie named the cat Ginger because it was a light brown color with gold shining eyes that twinkled. The two children spent the nights and weekends at their own house because they could not bear the thought of leaving it. One day, while Billy was behind the house, he spotted a tiny fir tree. It was beautiful. He yelled, "Marie, Marie, come look at this little tree. Wouldn't this have pleased Mom if she were here to see it?" Marie clasped her hands in delight as she proclaimed, "Why, it is splendid! We must take very good care of this tree and make sure nothing harms it." Billy agreed and said, "Yes, I will make a small fence to place around it to keep the wild animals from tromping it down." Marie said, "Oh, good, but don't put it too close. Give the tree plenty of room to grow." Billy put the wire fence 5 feet away from the tree to give it growing space. After a few months of watering the tree and keeping it safe from the wild animals, the tree began to spread out its branches and shoot up towards the heavens. The children enjoyed taking good care of it. The tree had a good fir tree smell, and it was real dark green. One day the snow began to fall. The air was cold and ice formed upon the waters. The wind rocked the trees to and fro. Billy was due to come home from work at any moment, and Marie was becoming anxious. "What if it gets so dark he can't follow the trail?" she worried. Then an idea popped into her mind. "Why, yes, that's it!" she exclaimed. She went to the cupboard and took out a box of candles that Farmer Jones had given them last year for Christmas. They were tiny candles with little shields around them to keep the flame from being blown out. "I will put these out on the fir tree," she thought. "These candles are the perfect thing to help Billy find his way home." She took the candles outside and began placing them among the branches of the fir tree. When she finished, it lit up the sky. It lighted up the sky so much that it gave the impression that the forest was ablaze. Billy, who had been having difficulty staying on the trail in the dark, was amazed when he saw the light in the sky. "Oh, no, I sure hope our house is not on fire," he worried. He hurried along faster until he came to the end of the trail. "Thank God!" he exclaimed. "That isn't a fire. That is our fir tree with candles. Boy, that was a smart thing for Marie to do, even if I do say so myself." "Hello, Marie, I'm home," Billy called. "Hey, thanks a lot for helping me find the way home. It was sure dark and cold out there in the forest, and I was scared to death." Marie hugged him and said, "Oh, Billy, I am so glad you are safe." Then Billy told Maria the idea that she had given him. "You know, Marie, in this weather it will be hard for the animals to find food, so I was thinking, why don't we expand on your idea and put food out for the birds and small animals so they won't starve?" Marie agreed. "Why, Billy, that's wonderful. We can string food and wrap it around the tree. I will make cookies and popcorn. And for an extra bit of color and flavor, cherries. I'm going to use cranberries this year, but cherries will be a delight." "But where will we get the cherries?" Billy wanted to know. "Oh, I forgot to tell you, last week the parson's wife gave me cinnamon, brown sugar, and a large bowl of cherries for an early Christmas present." "Why, that is super," said Billy. "Come on then, and let's get busy." Marie began popping popcorn, while Billy began to find some white thread to string it on. Then Marie made sugar cookies and cut a slice near the top of each cookie so they could be strung also. This year I rolled out bread and used cooked bread, gingerbread man cookie cutters and hung them on the tree. They wrapped the popcorn around the tree, keeping it a safe distance from the candles. The cookies were then hung like ornaments from the branches. Finally, they strung the cherries on a few short threads and let them hang like icicles. When they were through, the tree was very pretty. The children stood back in awe. Even Ginger meowed because she liked it too. Her eyes twinkled and she laid her head between her paws as if she were praying. The children smiled and decided that since the tree was so pretty, they would offer it to God. For like the star that had led kings and shepherds to the manger long ago, This tree had assisted Billy in finding his way home, so they sang and gave thanks to God for the tree. After Billy and Marie went to the house to prepare their supper, there was a knock on the door. Billy went to answer it. An old man with bright blue eyes stood before them. He asked, "Are you Billy and Marie by any chance?" "Yes, that's us," they chorused. "But why do you ask?" The man paused before answering. "You don't remember me, I'm sure, because I lost track of your parents long ago. I just found out from Farmer Jones that they used to live here. He explained to me that they had passed away about 2 years ago, but that they left behind 2 beautiful children. Farmer Jones also told me that this was a dark and dense forest and that I would be wise to wait until the morning to come visit you. I decided to risk it. I came this far, no reason to stop now." He chuckled again. "The forest sure was difficult for a while, but then I saw a great light that lighted up the sky. I didn't know what to think, but I kept on walking. Then I saw that the light was created by the candles on a fir tree. I knew that this cabinet must be yours, and so it is. Well, children, did you decorate the fir tree, and if so, for what reason?" Billy answered, "Yes, we decorated the tree so the animals could have food to keep them from starving." And Marie said, "I thought of the candles to guide Billy home from work tonight in the storm." Billy agreed. "That's right. We also gave God thanks that we might have the supplies to decorate the tree. Now we call it our Christian Christmas tree. We call it Christian because it has given its all. Supporting those candles and letting animals climb through its branches can't be all that easy. It must be a Christian to allow that, don't you think?" "Yes, that seems the proper name," chuckled the old man. Marie spoke up. "I have a question for you, sir, if you don't mind." The old man asked, "Oh, and what is that?" "Who are you? And why were you searching for us?" Marie wanted to know. The man chuckled again. "Oh, my children. I have been searching for many years. I happen to be your grandfather, your mother's father, guided here by the lights from your Christian Christmas tree." The children laughed until they almost cried. Then Billy said, "Yes, Mother spoke often of you. She told us that after she married and had us children, she took us to see you several times, but then you became ill and were sent away to get your strength back. Father was transferred here, and Mom couldn't locate your address to send you letters or anything. Then 2 years ago, Mom and Dad were killed in a freak accident. A tree crashed down on them, pinning both them and their horses in the forest. Because of the storm, we had to stay home. Farmer Jones was the one who found them and relayed the news to us. Farmer Jones was so kind. After the funeral, he said that we could go live on his farm with him and his wife. We do stay there sometimes. I work for him every day, and Marie helps Mrs. Jones with the smaller task. Farmer Jones also gave Marie our cat, and she keeps us company when we are here." "But where? Where were you all those years?" asked Marie. The grandfather answered, "Well, honey, I was so sick. I had to be sent to Riley Hospital in Indianapolis. No one was allowed to write or visit me. I was so ill. My only hope was to hurry up and get well so I can visit my daughter and her family again. After I was released from the hospital, I heard that your family had moved again, but no one seemed to know exactly where. So this past year I had detectives work on the case and locate you for me. They didn't tell me that your parents had been killed." He paused a moment, choking back the tears. "Well, anyway, I'm fine now, and I have a large farm about 45 miles from here. Will you come and live with me? I am so lonesome with that huge place all to myself. Please say that you will," he pleaded. Billy and Marie looked at one another to make sure they both felt the same way about it. Then Billy answered, "Yes, I believe we will. If we could please take Ginger and come back every year to light and decorate our Christian Christmas tree." Grandpa laughed and said, "Of course, that's a fair deal." So Billy and Marie packed up their belongings, took the candles and empty strings off the fir tree. Then Billy put the fence back up as a precaution against harm for the tree, and they went to live with their newfound grandfather on his lovely farm, and they thanked God for bringing them all together.